This is a podcast, not a news broadcast. We will report situations that are currently out and available for public access. No one on this platform is claiming to be a journalist. We are a group of individuals giving our opinion. Enjoy the show.
What song is that?
I love the way your body feels on top of mine.
I recognize it.
So take your time.
Homesick Podcast. This is Homesick Podcast.
Yes, it is. Welcome to Homesick Podcast. I'm Miz.
And I'm Liz.
I want to thank y'all for listening for our little podcast, and I want to give a rest in peace to all 6 people who passed on board of the New York City helicopter tour crash. Casualties were tech company Siemens executive Augustin Escobar, his wife Mercy Camprubi Montel, and their 3 younger children whose names haven't been released, but ages range between 4, 8, and 10. And not to forget their Navy SEAL veteran pilot, Sonkisi Johnson. CEO of the tour company, Michael Roth, says the helicopter was heading back to base for fuel when the crash occurred. The cause is still under investigation.
Yeah, that was really sad.
The video, you just see it going up, come down, and chopper hits the water. Boom. Then you see little fragments start dropping.
Yeah.
That was wild. That's with the plane. There's always a plane crashing. Chopper's like, well, I don't know. It's weird. It's coming off like some, what was that? Like Fringe. Remember Fringe? It was always a conspiracy. It just seems weird that.
Yeah.
And it's a tech company CEO. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, but I want to give a rest in peace to the family. It's a sad, sad thing.
Yeah, for sure. That's very sad.
Sweetheart, I don't have a question this morning.
But guess what I do?
Oh, you do? Oh, well, all right. There it is.
I was hoping you didn't have one.
That's fucked up. But all right.
So, would you consider doing an internet search or a criminal background check on someone before things got too serious?
Like if I'm dating someone?
Yeah, before they got serious. Would you consider doing internet research or a criminal background check on the person?
I would do some internet research. The criminal background, that would come up with the internet search, honestly. But honestly, I don't even think that would even cross my mind, especially if it's going good. If the dating process is good, I don't see why I would be concerned and trying to learn all of that. That's a weird ass question.
So what's wrong with me then? Because I definitely Google searched you. I internet searched you, all of it.
But what was your reason?
I just want to make sure everything checked out.
It wouldn't state that it's not going to say, oh, by the way, run, bitch, he's crazy. It's not going to say that online.
It's not going to, but if you start to see red flags when you're searching, then you kind of have an inkling to stay away.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know all of that.
Look at that.
Occurred.
You guys get to see the reaction when he's told that.
That's wild.
16 years
I don't
married.
know. I guess I would say that nowadays, yeah, I would definitely suggest a lot of women to do some shit like that. Or male, female. It doesn't matter, but it never crossed my mind.
Really? See, I'm also the type of person, like, say I make a doctor's appointment. I'm Googling the doctor and I'm reading the reviews people are saying. Like, I am that type of person. I will read the reviews on pretty much everything.
But that's like you want to make sure you're getting a good doctor. You want to get the best. When it comes to your
everything.
Health, you want to make sure you got a good. Agree. You want to make sure you got the best.
I agree, but I'll search a pool company. I'll do their reviews.
Yeah.
If I know they're coming to our house, like I am definitely like that. So what's different from doing it for someone you're talking to, for someone you're dating, someone you could potentially marry?
You're right, because then that could be forever if everything works out. So yeah. I never looked at it like that. I never thought that to look into somebody background. Okay, so here's the question. What happens when you find something? You just cut them cold turkey or you confront them?
Well, I would do it before it got too deep, so that way it would be easy just to cut it cold turkey. Like, you would just never know. You'd be like, whatever happened to her? Like,
So this is right after first date or before first date?
before first date is ideal, but I didn't do it before first date. We definitely hung out, and then I did it after.
Well, you took a
couple
chance with your
times.
life.
I did.
Mm.
Looking back, it's crazy. I'd probably
Yeah.
do it before than now.
Yeah.
The world's a scary
I could
place.
have been the last of you. That's wild.
Yeah.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
Good question.
Thank you. Not normally my thing, but I seen that and was like, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, thank God I didn't have anything this week.
I know.
All right, you got anything else you want to add to that?
No.
All right, well, let's shift gears and head over to
He
Talk of the
seems
Town.
so confused. All right. So, a New Jersey woman has been arrested for allegedly attempting to arrange a double murder through the dating app Tinder, which is crazy, targeting her ex-boyfriend, who's a Philadelphia police officer, and his teenage daughter.
Wow.
Her name is Jacqueline Diorio. She's 26, from Runnymede, New Jersey. She was taken into custody after authorities uncovered her alleged murder-for-hire scheme. Prosecutors say she offered $12,000 to a man she believed was a hitman, but
12 bands?
Yes.
Damn.
She thought he was a hitman, but he turned out to be a confidential informant. So she allegedly, quote, wanted to kill the victim's teenage daughter because the killing of a police officer would draw too much attention from law enforcement, while not as much law enforcement resources would be dedicated to investigating the death of an officer's daughter. That's what she said in court, or that's what was said in court. The assistant prosecutor said text message evidence clearly demonstrated Diorio's actions were not isolated to this plot, and previous plots were hashed but not carried out. So Diorio allegedly had a conversation with the informant via text message about getting proof of the murders and stated someone previously sent her fake pictures. Quote, she stated in the text message screenshot, "Bro, I've seen fake pics. I've had someone send me a trash bag, LOL." So the Camden County judge denied her bail on Friday morning at the detention hearing. Diorio was the Philadelphia police officer's barber, and that led to a dating relationship, according to investigators. While Diorio is not considered a flight risk and has no prior criminal history, the judge ultimately determined no amount of monetary bail or condition would reassure the safety of the officer and his daughter, considering the serious allegations and charges. So her next court date is set for June 11th.
You said she wasn't trying to kill the cop. She was trying to kill the daughter?
Well, she
was
hired the
trying to hit 'em
hitman to
both?
kill both, but
Okay.
she said kill the daughter first. Pretty much because they're not going to, he's a police officer, that's going to be high publicity. His daughter, they probably wouldn't do too much. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Where was the logic in that shit?
I have no idea. I think it's just wild. Crazy.
Why did she want to kill him?
Apparently, they kind of had a toxic relationship. There was a restraining order in there somewhere. I don't know. It just sounds like it was a toxic relationship to begin with. And now she just wants him and his daughter taken out.
But they was already broken up when she put the hit out.
Yeah, they broke
Why
up
put the
in
hit
March.
out if they was already broken up?
I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you hear people saying they get in arguments and they get to the point where like, oh, I'll fucking kill this bitch. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that. But to actually go out your way, get online, log on to a site, and then, first of all, where do you even look for some shit like that?
Well, that's why I was like, I was talking about this with someone else, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's the dark web," and I'm like, "No, they found this. She found the hitman on Tinder."
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
when you Google hitman, like, what
but like,
the stupid?
how did it come up on Tinder? That's more my question. Like, it's a dating app. Was your dating profile looking for a hitman?
What is it? Tinder Black? Like, what the fuck is that shit?
I just don't understand it. Tinder dark web?
Yeah, that shit is fucking
I'm not
stupid.
too sure.
Wow.
It's just crazy.
So she went on Tinder and found some type of link for a hitman and thought she was the only one that discovered it? Or did somebody be like, yo, if you want to really, there's a spot on Tinder that do hitmans and parties?
Yeah. I would love to know the specifics of this.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she going away. Bye.
Sure.
Yeah, she done. That's stupid.
Yeah, so June
innocent
11th.
Kid, she's gonna kill a daughter, innocent woman for no reason. That's fucking stupid.
Yep.
There's nothing he could have did that was that fucking serious.
No.
All right.
So June 11th, we'll know more.
Oh, that's the court date.
Yeah. And now, So last episode, I talked about Christina Formella, who was the Downers Grove South high school soccer coach and teacher that was accused of sexual abuse to one of her students.
Yes.
So her court date was this week, and she pleaded not guilty to all charges, and she's due back in court on June 17th. So I'm going to just keep following along with that case because that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. She's not guilty. Okay.
That's what she says. And her husband is still sticking by her.
As he should. Like the bitch he is.
I don't know. There's so many, like, I got lost in the rabbit hole of TikTok with this one because there's so many, like, people that are following her around, and you see, like, pictures of them in town. I mean, they don't look happy in pictures, you see, but who knows what's going on with that. And his car was in the garage when she parked in the garage, so it's, like, a bunch of, we don't know for sure if they're together, but it looks like it. I don't know. It's just wild.
He probably confused as shit, like, what to do. How does he look if he leaves?
I'm sure once she's officially, like, prosecuted, he's definitely going to file for divorce. So this I debated on talking about.
What's this?
All right. Did you hear about the lawsuit the Justice Department filed this week?
No.
All right. Let me get on into it. All right. So the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, announced on Wednesday that the Justice Department is filing a civil lawsuit against Maine's Department of Education for, quote, discriminating against women by failing to protect women in women's sports, in what she alleged is a violation of Title IX. She said the Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports. This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety. So the move marks an escalation between Trump administration and Maine over the issue. President Trump signed an executive order back in February to ban transgender girls and women from competing on sports teams that match their gender identity, mandating that Title IX, which is a federal law banning sex discrimination in schools, should be interpreted as prohibiting the participation of transgender girls and women in female sports. Trump said states not in compliance would jeopardize any federal funding they receive. Then, in a tense moment between President Trump and Maine Governor Janet Mills later in February, the president threatened that her state wouldn't get federal funding if they didn't comply with the executive order, barring transgender athletes from competing on women's sports teams. Mills replied, "See you in court." So, they definitely called her bluff. The Attorney General said that the Justice Department had exhausted every other remedy, saying they repeatedly notified Maine of its infractions and urged them to remedy the situation to protect women. Bondi did note that the administration has stripped grants to Maine through other agencies and would continue to fight for women. Mills pledged to vigorously defend our state against the action announced by the Department of Justice in a statement on Wednesday. So the Attorney General did give a few examples during her press conference. She said, in February 2025, a biological male won first place in pole vault at Maine's indoor track and field meet. He beat every female by a significant margin, qualifying him for regional championships, taking a spot from a female athlete. Shame on him, Bondi said during the press conference. In February of 2024, a biological male started competing in female ski and cross-country races in Maine. He placed first in women's 5K with a time that would have ranked him 43rd among men. Think about that.
Right, so he knew he couldn't cut it over in the men's league, so he figured, let me go over here.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that whole...
So the argument with Title IX was made to give biological women a shot at fair competition, scholarships, and sporting careers. So, of course, as a mom of 4 kids, as a mom of 4 girls, you know, I wanted to look more into this because that's it. It touches home with having the girls. So just the biological differences alone, I think, is unfair for women. So testosterone levels in male are 10 to 20 times higher than in females, which contributes to muscle mass strength and endurance. And then in 2020, a British Journal of Sports Medicine study found trans women maintain athletic advantages even after 2 years of hormone therapy. And then, of course... So
basically, and that is never going to be in a case where a woman is going to become even to a man, in a sense, when it comes to physical attribute.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then bone structure, lung capacity, and fast twitch muscle response doesn't change significantly after transition.
Well, correct.
So that's that. Now, what I've seen, and I was like, it makes you think. You can't identify your way into a weight class or into an age group.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I can't be like, I weigh 110 pounds and you're going to believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's see, or I'm 29. I'm going to fill that on every government paperwork because I'm 29. I could never do that. It wouldn't be acceptable. So why is gender acceptable to do that?
I think it shouldn't be okay that to yourself as a man, or however you feel inside, that you couldn't cut it in the class that you were supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go over here now, and it's like you're taking away from what. First of all, women never had the right to actually have certain sports and stuff like that. So as certain things are popping off, like even with female basketball now, that's becoming like a big ordeal now. People are really tuning in. People are watching. People are looking at it, paying close attention to it. So stuff like that is taken away from the big gain and the accomplishment that's actually going on. So stuff like that, I agree. That is kind of like, it's fucked up in a sense. And again, I believe everyone should do what they feel in their personal life. That's your business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not saying whatever you decide today, it's gonna affect me. That's your life. But when it comes to stuff like that, when you're now trying to, it's almost like cheating.
Mm-hmm.
It is cheating. It's okay if you look at it in a sense. Now, if a woman now went and took steroids now to enhance her to play basketball, that would be looked as ugly. You will look down upon, like, oh, she's not playing fair. So then why is it now that
I'm definitely going to touch that, but I do agree with you in the sense of it took centuries for women to get rights.
Right.
Some countries, women still don't have rights.
Mm-hmm.
So I do agree with you in that aspect. Now, if roles were reversed, if women were biologically stronger than men and started dominating men's sports, do you think people would accept it or try to fight it?
There'll always be There's always be two sides to everything. There'll be people that would love it, and there's people that would be against it. It's always going to be that.
I think men would absolutely fight this.
Just like women should fight this too. Like the world is never going to exist without conflict.
Egos alone would be the main reason I think men would fight this. Could you imagine turning on ESPN and seeing women dominating men every night, knocking out people, drop like the NFL records, all of that?
But you're saying in a world where it always been women dominant, or it just turned into women starting dominating?
It just turned into women starting dominating, because that's pretty much what happened here.
Correct.
All of a sudden, this is an issue. So I'm saying if it's reversed and women all of a sudden start dominating in men's sports, it would be like, oh, protect men's sports. It would be flipped.
100%. Yeah.
The egos would be crushed.
You're right.
I just feel like if the roles were switched, then it would be a whole different. It wouldn't even be a big deal. It would be like, what are you doing? Like, male athletes would be replaced. They lose contracts, endorsements, opportunities, and then the same people defending for equal competition today would likely demand segregation or protection for male athletes.
I'm just here listening. I'm just in the air right now. I'm just letting you cook. But I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with nothing you're saying. It would be a different conversation if it was the other way around. Something would have came from it.
Yeah, if women had the upper hand, you would see full role reversal.
Yeah, I definitely believe the moment it started becoming a problem, it would have been taken care of right there. There would have been a meeting, gavel slammed. It would have been a decision made, and that would have been
as
that would have been
sad
done
as this is. It's because it doesn't affect men. I really genuinely think that. It's like, oh, big deal. Like, it's already an issue. Look at, like, NBA, for example. Women are still fighting for that, in my eyes. They're still fighting for the pay. Look at the amount of money NBA players get paid compared to WNBA players.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. And then now on top of that, now we have to worry about, you're genetically a guy, so you're genetically stronger. Like, you're going to injure me as if you're a guy. Although you identify as a woman, I understand that. I respect it. But I don't think that's fair. You're taking away opportunities for females. Like, I know it's debatable. I know not everyone's going to agree with me. I don't. There's no right answer, I guess, in this situation.
Well, hopefully there's more news on this later on down the road, and so there'll be some type of change.
Yeah, I'll follow along and see what comes from this lawsuit.
Okay. Anything else on Talk of the Town?
No, that
That's
was
all
a
you got?
lot.
That was it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. Shifting gears and going towards entertainment news. Kendrick Lamar and SZA finally dropped a music video for Luther. It's an artsy tone that highlights the Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn sample that's used throughout the record. Have you seen it yet or no? Yeah, you
Yeah.
actually watched it.
Mhm,
Oh, this
I
time
did.
you've seen it.
I
Okay.
did. I wanted to be more prepared because I felt, but I didn't see the Drake one. When
Mm.
you were talking about it, I couldn't
when
really
I
talk on
when
it.
I seen that one, that was it
The
came
day
out
of.
that day. So yeah. So I just happened to be on my phone and I seen that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said the biggest standout of the music video is who directed it. This is the whole
Really?
controversy. The vision was directed by Toronto native Karina Evans, who normally works with the Drake's OVO camp. She's directed such videos for Drake like God's Plan, Nice for What, and In My Feelings, I'm Upset, to name a few. Why I think Kendrick's camp and her connected is from SZA, because SZA and her worked. She directed SZA's video Garden.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I believe Drake started the pettiness and taking digs at Kendrick's Super Bowl performance. So that's what caused all of that. So I think that started the whole back and forth.
It sounds like Kendrick paid a little bit of money for that
Yeah,
one.
so Mr. Morale returned the favor by recruiting someone from Drizzy's team and the GNX tour. And the funny thing is the GNX tour starts later this month. So you got this video,
Oh.
boom, then that's right after. So it's like a bang bang right up in your grill.
That's crazy.
Now I think it's crossed the line if it's okay. The beef is no longer just rap beef no more. These motherfuckers
It's
hate each other.
personal.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
like each other. You know, so I get where it's going now. I just hope it stays with these little jabs here and there, and like nobody gets hurt. They don't go into no stupid shit where it becomes the West against Toronto or no shit like that. But yeah, it's the pettiness is high between the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's subtle shit now because Drake's video literally was a Super Bowl. The return was, all right, motherfucker, I'm going to use somebody from your camp to show that my reach is just as far. So
it seems like playful.
Yeah,
right now.
that's what makes it interesting.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully it stays like this. That's what I'm hoping for. But speaking of the Super Bowl, our boy Lil Wayne has something to say about the Super Bowl. Lil Wayne says that he didn't watch Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. Him and Little Twist, you remember Little Twist? He was on Young Money. Little Twist played pool during the set, then went outside to smoke. Every time he claimed he looked, it was nothing that made him want to go inside and see what was going on. He says that he's no longer interested in the Super Bowl. That was stolen from him, and he doesn't care for it.
Why even say all that?
He mentioned this in Rolling Stones.
Like
I would go ahead.
I was gonna say, obviously, the problem you really had is it was in your city. You weren't invited. I do think that's fucked up. Did he go with Jay-Z? Because wasn't Jay-Z behind it or
Rock Nation?
Yeah, Rock Nation.
Yeah,
he said something to him or that.
Well,
Rock
they made
Nation.
statements. I believe Nicki Minaj made some statements, and
Oh, okay.
everybody spoke their piece on that.
I just don't get why I make these comments. I get you're hurt.
Yeah, I get that, but Super Bowl going done.
Yeah.
And I look at it as like you Lil Wayne. You should be looking down on this situation. You're up there. You put yourself up there, so act like it in a sense. Like you're showing feelings.
I do think it's fucked up though they didn't ask him. I'm not taking anything from Kendrick, but I feel like maybe next year he could have done. I understand this was his year. I get that. But Lil Wayne, granted he doesn't have nothing recent right now, but he has a collection of songs he could have performed.
Yes.
I just think he would have been great at it.
I think with the momentum of what the beef that Kendrick and Drake was doing and how Kendrick was and all that stuff and him winning and not like us, I think all of that made you look like this would be great if this man was performing. You know what I mean? Compared to like, I understand we in Louisiana.
Yeah.
You want, you know what I mean, Lil Wayne to perform, that would make sense. I guess if it was different circumstance, it should have been Kendrick Lamar bringing out Lil Wayne.
I was gonna say they should have collabed with
right,
that.
but
It would have been
with
a
all the
cool
nonsense
show.
going on, it kind of made it hard to. So
Yeah.
I get that. That part right there is fucked up. But Lil Wayne, I think you too great for this. Like, you shouldn't have even said nothing about it. You should have just let it rock, kept quiet on it, and just said congrats and
Go
keep
on
it moving.
tour. Everyone's going on tour, and I would totally see Lil Wayne.
Right.
I'm a big fan.
Yes. All right. Moving on. We got Diddy again. So Diddy accused to change his mind when it came to Hove and B. Manzaro Joseph, who sued Diddy early this month, just filed an amended lawsuit, still against Diddy, but
What?
one stated Beyonce and Jay-Z saw him at a freak off back in 2015 at a birthday party in Miami for Diddy's son King Combs. In his lawsuit, the Carters seem to have dropped from the narrative. The doc shows zero mention of the duo. It explains that Joseph alleged that Diddy drugged him and paraded him around that 2015 party, forcing him to wear a penis mask half naked. So in the beginning, his statement had Jay-Z and Beyonce seeing him in this so-called penis mask and half naked. And now his lawsuit is not showing anything of the Carters.
Is this real life?
Yeah, it's some real shit. Yeah.
Oh
This
my
Diddy shit
God.
got mad clown shit popping up here and there.
I mean, I would love to know what is going on behind the scenes. Like, Jay-Z and Beyonce are untouchable with this, it seems. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Nothing
crazy.
sticks.
No.
Nothing sticks whatsoever.
And how they, each of them individually are just getting dropped off. Like, no one else. We're still holding everyone else accountable.
It's like
but-
everybody that they bring up, it don't stick. But we still coming after you, Diddy. That doesn't change any fucking thing.
Yeah.
You still the prime target. Hey, we'll see when the actual case happens, how everything is gonna go down.
I cannot wait to see
It's
this
gonna be
case
fucking
go
interesting.
Down.
All right.
See what comes up.
Further, we have Joe Tacopina. Remember?
Yeah,
Joe?
ASAP's lawyer.
Yeah, Joe is blasting the judge, Lisa Sokoloff, in the Wendy Williams conservativeship.
Mm-hmm.
In her conservativeship case, sorry. The judge told Wendy her career is over.
Who is she to say
I don't
that?
know. This judge seemed like it got some beef with Wendy's. Like, Wendy must have mentioned her in a story or something. She holding a grudge. So Joe states that the statement made by the judge shouldn't have been made in a courtroom or in front of Wendy.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, especially because she's not in the entertainment business.
Right.
Why would you go and speak on some shit like that has nothing to do with the situation at hand?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems personal. Joe explained that the judge's statement shows bias and is unclear why she made the comments to Wendy. Joe also speaks about the gag order on the case, saying he's never heard of one being issued in a guardianship case, that there's usually reserved for situations where comments could influence a jury, which cannot happen here since the judge alone will make the decision. So basically, there was a gag order issued for some weird reason, where it's not that kind of profile case. So it's basically the decision. How the verdict of this is just a judge decision. You don't need a jury to decide innocent or guilty or something. It's just pretty much a decision from the judge.
Which is real bullshit because she already showed what side she's on.
Yeah. So
that's not fair.
Joe believes this is just a way to punish Wendy for something. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the beef is. And why this judge seems to just have some type of personal vendetta against her. Yeah. She's like trying to make everything hard. She doesn't want to let go of this conservatorship.
So is he trying to get this moved to a jury case?
No, he's basically now trying to shine light on what the judge is doing, hopefully getting a new judge on the situation.
Yeah.
So I hope that happens. And it should occur because obviously there's some shit going on right here. And I think that's what he's trying to show to the world, that there's something going on here underlying. It's not just somebody playing that they're concerned about Wendy. It's somebody trying to be spiteful.
Yeah.
So hopefully this works out and yeah. I'm rooting for Wendy because right now, in the beginning you thought, all right, yeah, she's sick. She needed to step away and stuff like that. It seemed like she was forced away. She was pushed away.
She was forced.
It seems like one big conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Who's to say it wasn't planned by a higher power? You know what I mean? That somebody's that put this judge in play, got her off the television, shift shit. You know what I mean? I'm just being, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking outside the box. You know? Just saying,
Yeah.
it could be anything.
I
But
do agree. And obviously, whatever she went through with her marriage and that whole situation, you're human. You went through whatever I think she turned to alcohol, but that shouldn't justify whatever she's going through right now. That's absurd to me.
Yeah, real fucked up. But
I hope that
I hope it works out for Wendy.
Kicked off that case.
Oh, definitely. I hope so.
And her biasness, she shouldn't be a judge. That's absolutely ridiculous.
No, not at all.
Oh, gosh.
All right. RFK Jr. pledged that his agency will identify the cause of the autism epidemic by September.
I mean, that's a
bold statement to make.
And it's also, how are you going to, can he get it done in that amount of time?
He explains that him and his team has launched a massive testing and research effort that involves hundreds of scientists from around the world. He added in September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic and will be able to eliminate those exposures. Now, I looked into pretty much when did autism started getting on a rise and becoming an issue. Yeah. And it says the phenomenon started in the 1990s and the early 2000s. So it gradually started becoming more and more of a thing throughout the years. And now it's pretty much a standard now. Everyone has some type of form of autism.
It's really high percentage.
Yeah, so that hopefully what the man is saying could actually be done. Mm-hmm. But you're putting a lot on your back now by guaranteeing something like that by September. September is not even that far away. So hopefully, it would benefit a lot of people if he could figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I hope he does figure out the cause of it. Mm-hmm. It would be nice to know. I've heard from some people, which are just random, but I heard the vaccines might be contributing to it, and also fast food might be contributing. I don't know. I'm not saying this is I'm just saying.
No, but that's been said. That's not you saying that. That's been said that they think those things are tied to it. Yeah.
I would be curious to see what exactly he comes up with.
Right. Yeah, that'd be real curious to see what comes up from that. So we'll keep on that. We'll watch that and see what turns out from that. Sean Kingston, remember him?
Yeah.
Sean Kingston is in the process of being released. He finally posted bond after being in lockup because he couldn't cough up the $100K cash bond tied to his federal wired fraud case. So he somehow found a way to get the money, but when he got locked up initially, he couldn't get no funds. So it looked bad on his part. So somehow now he figured out the money. So Kingston got hit with a guilty verdict last month alongside with his mom, Janice Turner. They are accused of scamming businesses out of more than $1 million in fraud schemes with jewelry, luxury cars, and other high-end goods. They're staring down up to 20 years in prison for every single count they were convicted on. Kingston's attorney, Robert Rosenblatt, advised him to remain in jail because it may benefit him due to some time served. But as you can see, he didn't listen and he was released. He will be sentenced in July.
Wow.
Yeah, that's around the corner. But his mom has still been in custody. So he's out and his mom is still locked up. Because this ain't her first time. Oh, mama gets busy. Yeah, this ain't her first time. Yeah.
What happened? This is crazy.
Nah, they
run into some shit.
Yeah, they don't play around with that thing. So we'll see. Well, he's gonna go to jail. Most likely his mom too. So we'll see what happened in July to those two. It's crazy because I remember when his career started.
Yeah.
I thought he was going on the right path. That whole Miami wave with everybody coming out of there, DJ Khaled, him, all stuff. You know what I mean? I don't see how he couldn't keep afloat with all that shit going on.
Right.
He could have been on a Khaled fucking record as much as Khaled put out. Like, how the hell he fall off that hard? I don't know.
Investments, something like what?
Yeah.
How? Get it?
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. All right. Now, our all-female Blue Origin mission crew. Give us space.
I heard about this.
Katy Perry, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez, rocket scientist Asia Bow, civil rights activist Amanda Nugent, film producer Karina Flynn, the rocket The Rocket Shepherd Van Horn launch out of West Texas, April 14th, 2025. Their weightless wonder lasted about 10 to 12 minutes. This trip makes history as the second all-female space flight since June 16th, 1963.
Yeah. Pretty exciting.
It is cool. Now, some have announced their opinion about it. Olivia Munn, yeah, that's her last name. Olivia Munn called it a waste of money and time.
Why is it a waste of money? Because women did it? Why do we not make a big deal?
Herself.
Why do we not make a big deal when men do it? Yeah, but it's known women hate on other women.
I guess it's because it's a bunch of celebrities jumping in the rocket and going out to space. And then you've seen the video. Katy Perry was holding a daisy for her daughter.
Yeah.
Doing all type of things, posing. They came on full makeup on. Everybody's shit was looking flawless. Hair done, everything good.
Lauren Sanchez created the uniforms they wore.
Oh, she did?
Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
They were cute.
Mm-hmm. Continuing on that, Jessica Alba is in support. So there's somebody that's supporting publicly. She's in support, but she's clapping back on the bashers to say that their hate should be directed at President Trump. Calling to what she calls his abuse of power that's impacting the country's lives in America and abroad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she making big statements. In some way, I can understand what she's talking about. Like, this thing, yes, it's granted, it's something big. A whole woman crew went up into space.
You made history.
That's history, yes. But they didn't go up there and, like, do anything life-changing, or they just did it just to do it. So if you look at it, it looks like a more of a look what I can do kind of shit. Like, yeah, me and my girls could just go into space when we feel like it kind of shit. That's what it kind of came across as. Because as much as they talked about it for what they did up there, because it's not $2 to fill a rocket ship and to get the, you know what I mean? You don't know the behind the scenes money that came into that to actually have that rocket ship built, have that shit fueled, have that shit go up, all that, and have the press, everything like that. So I could kind of understand where she's coming from. Like, nothing was accomplished. It just went into space just to go into space.
I'm pretty sure there was a reason they went up there, though.
Well, please tell me. I don't want to sit here talking madness, but it just looks like some, you know what I mean? We just went into space. Ha. Why you look for that? You got anything?
No, go ahead.
I'm going to move on. And we'll swing back to that. Nick Carter is being sued by Laura Penley, who says he raped her and infected her with a bunch of sexually transmitted diseases. He claims allegations are bogus. Laura claims she met Nick in 2004 when she was 19 years old. She states they would meet up at a Los Angeles apartment where they would hang out and have sex. Laura says she asked him to wear a condom, but he refused and told her he was STD free. She claims Nick infected her with various STDs, including HPV. She tested positive for chlamydia and gonorrhea. She was also diagnosed with cervical cancer, which was a result from the HPV infection. Nick's legal team says he doesn't ever recall meeting Penley or having sexual relations with her, and claim Penley has a documented history of financial and legal trouble and has filed for bankruptcy and has been sued for fraud.
Wow.
I say fuck Nick. I don't think where I think you're guilty now is that you had to highlight her past. You know what I mean? Who's to say he didn't do that? Why? Because he's a fucking Backstreet Boy? Like, I think the motherfucker did it. All honesty. Because I just think of it as a case of somebody that's up top now and is trying to belittle somebody that he can't go back and forth with them legally or financially. You know what I mean? To try to taint the woman. It's like you're taking away from the narrative. You're showing we're focusing on that she's saying she was raped, and now you're trying to say, well, she been in trouble for financial shit before, and she has a record of doing shit like that. I just think it's fucked up because there could be something there. Well, that's all I got in entertainment news. Well, we're gonna move on to sick of this shit. So, well, you finally have caught up to my sick of this shit. You're the cause of it.
Wow.
My sick of this shit this week is finding out what you want to eat.
Oh my God.
I'm sick of that shit.
I agree. It's
you agree with me?
Negotiation.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting.
What gets me is I'll ask you, I'll be like, what do you want for dinner?
Whatever you want.
You'll say that, which frustrates me even more. Or you'll be like, I'll be like, all right, do you want whatever? This. No. And then I'm like, all right, what do you want? I'm not hungry. Well, what the fuck did you just waste my time for?
Well, no, if you had said something that piqued my interest, I probably would have found the hunger somewhere. But it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I want to be wild. You know what I mean? I want to be like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. Yeah, put me down for that. I'm down for that. I like that. You know what I mean? Like, you like when I do the chicken parm, when I bust that out and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't make that every single night. Sometimes we gotta switch it. So what?
I'd get sick of it if you
Oh,
did it
okay,
every night.
yeah. Sometimes you gotta switch it up. So it's like, you know what I mean? If you came to me like you made the pie the other day, the mac and cheese pie.
Oh yeah.
That was good. You know what I'm saying? But it's like 1 in a million sometimes when we on the same page and be like, oh yeah, that'd be good. Let's make that, or let's go get this or something like that. Yeah, that shit I'm sick of that shit. We need to either build up some type of menu or what we're gonna cook Monday, or we're gonna do too, or we go out Friday or something like that. We need to find some type of solution to that.
I do agree. I really want to try. I saw online that if you say, like, guess where we're going for dinner, supposedly the first place that you say is where we should eat at. Or
that what pops in your head?
Yeah.
That's what you really want.
Yeah. So I'm going to try that on you.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if it works. I don't think it is.
I'm going to be like, guess what I'm making, and see what you say.
All right. Well, that's my sick
Now
of this
that
shit.
you know, you better not say nothing.
I'm going to forget this conversation.
Okay, good.
Most likely.
Okay, good. Real quick, I found the reason for the Blue Origin.
All right, that only took 100 years.
I'm really sorry. I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it says the reason was to promote space tourism and inspire the next generation of explorers while also pursuing scientific research and testing reusable space technologies.
That just sounds like a bunch of fancy shit written in a paragraph.
Well, they're trying to make it more common for people to go. I mean, granted, it costs a fortune, but they're trying to make it more so everyone gets to experience it if you have the money.
All right, we're moving on now to our main topic. And our main topic today is, should you set boundaries with family and friends?
Hell yes.
I strongly agree. It's defined with pretty much what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. So it's to the state of what you're cool with. So okay, let's start with friends. It's on the level of how far can your friend joke with you? How close are you with that friend? I say it goes down with how many years you know the person, the longevity on it, and what's the relationship really like? Is it because you could have people that you quote unquote say you're friends, but they're not really your friends. They just people that just want to keep their eyes on you to see what you're doing, to keep tabs on it, and then give their little jabs here and there. That's not a friend. So those people, 100%, you put them in a fucking category, and you give them a certain amount of boundary or what they can and cannot do. But like close friends, people, I don't think boundaries are set to people that actually really know you.
I think boundaries should be set for everyone.
No. Meaning, okay, let me explain what I'm saying because it sounds crazy. What I'm saying is like somebody that really knows you, knows your boundaries, knows what. All right, I'm not gonna go that far with so and so because all right, I know that's a pet peeve. That's like a real friend, not somebody that's saying you're a friend but just want to do shit to get a rile out of you, kind of shit. I'm thinking in some cases that's already established without saying it. Not saying that there's no boundaries, but it's like an unsaid thing. You get what I'm saying? So I believe in those cases, yes, if there's certain things that, you want to put on the table, I agree. You should still, no matter the level of friendship, put out some boundaries. Say, yo, all right, this is how I am during the week. I don't like to be bothered Monday through Tuesday. We can link up every Friday. We could do shit like that. Right. You know what I mean? When I'm with my girl, I'm with my girl. When, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to keep that separate. That's what I believe when it comes to friendship. Moving on to family, that's when shit get blurred. I
think both should have boundaries. I don't think there's any exceptions. I feel like, I'm new to the boundary thing because, as you know, I pretty much will take anything. Like, it's like, all right, well, because I look at it like I'm just being nice or easygoing. But technically, I'm just giving people like a pass to walk all over me if I don't have boundaries. And then I look crazy when I snap and all that because they're like, wait, what happened? You never said nothing. We literally could do what we want.
it's where I say when I said the lines are blurred is your mom and dad or your brother said that they've been through your whole childhood, your everything up to being an adult. So who's to say, you know what I mean? Who else is going to say they know you better than your family? But now you're an adult. Certain advice I don't want. Certain opinions you can keep to yourself. That's why I think like the boundary should be set when it comes to family. You know what I mean? Respect matter. I'm an adult. You're an adult. You could give me advice, but there's a way you give it to me. Don't tell me, yo, this is what you should do. This is how you should do it. Yeah. I'm not a kid anymore in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen enough life now. And that's, you know what I mean? I'm 40 years old. I've seen a good amount of shit. You know what I mean? So don't try. I don't want to be parented still. Yeah. I love you. You're always going to be my parents. You know what I mean? Brothers, sisters, same thing. You know what I'm saying? There's always love. But there's just certain things, you know what I mean? You just... Shit, that's why I think me and my brothers have great relationships. We don't get in each other's business. You know what I'm saying? Only if it gets to the point where we bring it to one another. But... Then, yeah, we'll talk about it.
You and your brothers have boundaries without even saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like...
I said, that's what I meant before. Like, yeah, certain things are just unsaid. It just falls into play.
But see, boundaries, they show people how to treat you. That's pretty much what it is. And that's why I think that applies to
everything. And that's why sometimes disrespect comes from when somebody want to test your boundaries.
Yeah. Well, what about the people that think it's like you're being rude or, you know, like... They look at it as a bad thing.
When you set boundaries.
Yes. When you set boundaries.
Yeah, and that's somebody that just don't give a fuck about what you had to say. That means they're implying their shit on you now. You know what I mean? If you could tell a person that supposedly love you, like you speaking family. Yeah. They love you, they're in your life. And you tell them, yo.
I didn't like that.
I need this to be in play. Right. Stop doing that. And they get offended by it. Yeah. Then it's a personal thing for them on where they're trying to inflict their shit on you now. You should do what I say. You should listen to what I'm saying.
Right, because you're their punching bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's not rude to them. No. What's rude is because you're
disrespectful now for saying that. Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
When they're really the piece of shit.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where mind manipulating coming from. That's fucked up people who do shit like that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's you implement something and then they look at it like, I can't believe you did that.
This touches home for me. I feel like this is my life lesson this year. As sad as that is, I don't know.
It's not sad.
I mean, it's sad because I never had a boundary with anyone. Right. I never put myself first in a sense. I always cared about what other people would think. Like I never wanted to hurt someone's feelings, and in the end, I'm the one hurt. Right. And that's what was sad. That was a wake-up call to me. And now I'm like, fuck everyone. Now it's just, I need to worry about me. I need to focus on me. So this has been my 2025. I'm not even playing since I went into this year.
Yeah, but I think with that whole way you were looking at things, I'm not going to say how I really feel because I don't want to offend that person. So you always kept putting yourself on the back burner.
But see, the people in my life... were like manipulative and they would flip it and make me feel like I'm wrong. And that was where it was like confusing to me because I'm like, why am I feeling bad? Right.
Where is your feelings in all of this?
Right. And that's the thing. And no one gave a shit about my feelings.
Yeah, because every conversation was what you did to them.
Yes.
How did they
and then the moment I spoke up and was like, well, I didn't like when you did this. All of a sudden it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong.
Right.
Like,
we'll put you on timeout. We'll get back to you. We'll give it a couple of days and call you like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's very unhealthy. But I don't know what clicked. It just, I don't know. I feel like it's probably stuff we talked through. And I just was like, wow, I never looked at it like that. And now... fuck them all.
Well, it's not fuck them all. It's just hopefully your stand now shines light and people look into themselves. If it doesn't, then it's like they never really gave a fuck. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how you should look at it. It's not saying fuck everybody. At the end of the day, they still family. They still, you know what I mean? That's all you knew up to the point before me and you started our thing. You know what I mean? I would never say fuck everybody. Like I would never say fuck my family.
Well, it's not even just family. I'm saying in general. Like
people in general. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Everyone in my life, I have always been like that towards. And I have never gotten it back. Like,
it's not reciprocated. Yeah.
It's not reciprocated at all.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm not just pinpointing family. And I guess I'm just saying fuck them all because, like, I was so hurt, and I guess I still am, which is why that was my go-to. But I just like I don't care. I'm not caring about you anymore because you didn't care about me. So that's what I mean. It might come off harsh, but I don't know. Is
it really harsh? That's what I'm saying. That's again,
no, I'm saying
in a
how
sense.
I said fuck
no,
you.
But if you think about it, psychological,
right?
It's still the same. You're still in the same thinking because now you're wondering if it comes off harsh.
Well, no, because you said I shouldn't say fuck that.
No. I'm saying that you can't say you're done until that conversation happens.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
I'm not saying I'm done. I'm done putting people before myself.
Okay,
that's what I'm done.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Understandable.
Yeah.
All right. So there it is. Yes. There should be boundaries between family and friends.
Yeah, this one touched him. You guys got a little insight into me.
Do we have anything for bringing it back home?
We do.
We do. Okay.
Yes, we have another one submitted through the anonymous.
So
I don't know who. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know who sent this, but it says I've developed a crush on my best friend's boyfriend. Oh my god! All right, it feels so wrong, but I can't help it. I try to avoid him, but every time I see them together, it hurts. I know I should tell my friend, but I'm terrified of losing both of them. First off, I wouldn't tell your friend. I would just distance myself from all of it. Right. Your friend and the person, because this is absolutely crazy.
She ain't fucked the dude yet, and she just has feelings for
she has a crush for him, but she said, I know I should tell my friend, but I'm terrified. Don't tell your friend.
You hold that and bury that deep down in your belly until... for your case, you hope that they eventually break up, and I still wouldn't pursue the dude.
No,
You gotta leave. You gotta let that die.
Listen,
you gotta
he's not the one for you.
Right.
Even if you think he is, he's not. That's your friend. That's off limits. Let girl code. Go. No,
because you could never have a fulfilled relationship, and then your friend know. You know what I mean? You might as well just let that die.
And then if you continue hanging out with your friend, say she leaves the room, what are you going to be tempted to do? Something?
Yeah.
No.
And then you're going to put that aura in. People could pick up on that.
Avoid the situation altogether, especially if you don't want to lose the friend. Just distance yourself until you move on.
And think about if the shoe was on the other foot. How would you feel?
I know. No.
That sounds messy, girl.
It's very messy.
I would leave that one alone.
Please leave it alone.
Don't do that. No.
There's someone for everyone, and you'll find the right person.
Yes. Yeah.
My God.
Hopefully you listen to that, please. That shit is messy. Don't do that.
God. Please let us know what you wind up doing. Please.
Yeah, that go shit. There's dudes. I've seen dudes do shit like that. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers that's your fake friend. Like, boy, he ain't hitting that right. How he end up with her? Motherfucker, there's some snakes. So don't be that. Just
that's
let
the same
that
thing
go.
With women.
No, I know women do that shit too, but it's just if that's your friend, stay the fuck away from that. Just walk away. Leave that alone. You give yourself some time. He is not the one.
No.
Because if it was, it would have happened.
He's like that because of the person he's with, which also is a thing. Like, you know how like
she could be painting him as some type of great guy and all this type of shit.
Right.
And so you might be blinded by false pretense.
So don't fall for that.
Yeah. Mm-mm. All right. Hopefully we helped on that one.
I hope so.
I got a couple random shits here that I want to touch on.
Ooh.
All right, so there was a study from the University of Chicago found that people are more likely to return to familiar TV shows when they feel depleted or emotionally drained. They say rewatching provides a way to restore energy and regain a sense of peace. In moments when the world feels uncertain, your brain reaches for what it knows. So all that time when you say, how the fuck can you keep watching the same movie over and over? You just seen this show. How are you rewatching it like it's the first time? It's for like a mental peace. That's my peace. And then your ass ain't helping it by, why are you still watching it? You're fucking up my peace. You understand what I'm saying? If you really think about it. So I'm glad someone out there did the research and figured that out. Because I literally could watch a movie right now. And tomorrow watch that shit like it's the first time I've seen it.
You know, yes. Like, for instance, we'll watch a show, and then say we fall asleep watching it. He wants to start it from the beginning. Like, no, start it from where we left off.
Because I could do that.
I know.
I don't know with the whole. Watching it. It's just you don't love yourself. You go out there, you start a movie from the middle. What kind of weird shit is that?
I started from the last place that I remember.
Nah, you're a spy.
Does anyone else do
Fuck
that,
that.
or do you guys agree that we should start from the beginning? Because I think that's crazy.
You start a movie from the fucking beginning. If you
Well,
if you fell asleep on a movie, you started from the beginning.
No, I don't agree.
That random start from the middle shit is weird.
You're starting from where you last seen it. You're not starting from the beginning.
Nah, I wanna be wild from beginning to the part I missed.
No.
Well,
I don't.
you're a spy and you work for another country, so I don't know. What to say.
I don't. Yeah, I don't rewatch really anything. There's a couple random movies I can rewatch, but
the shit you like the only good shit you like that we can rewatch and you don't have a problem is what is that with Bruce Willis and was it Death Tells Her?
Death Becomes Her.
Death Becomes Her.
I like that movie. That's what I'm saying. Like I like a lot of like classic movies.
Yeah,
Pretty Woman.
Like
that's probably my favorite woman.
Yeah, you're an old ass woman.
I am not an old woman.
I love older women.
I am not an old woman. First, I'm 29.
All right, yeah. You like a lot of old shit.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I can watch any Will Ferrell movie, with the exception of Step Brothers. I don't really
Step
like
Brothers didn't really do it for me.
But I can watch all of them over. The Other Guys is probably one of my favorite movies in the world, and I rewatch that all the time.
Campaign.
So actually, I do rewatch things. It just has to be interesting to me.
Oh, sorry.
I can watch it. Interesting. I watch Family Guy reruns and American Dad. I do like them too.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
But you make a face. If you walk in the room, oh, you're watching this shit again? You fucking with my peace.
I don't do it with those.
So just know that when I say that, it's a real thing. You're fucking with my peace.
Listen, you're talking about I watch old stuff, but yours was like in black and white the other day, and I'm like, what is
you
this?
Talking about
there was some like robot movie you had on, and it was really, really old.
Robot movie.
I don't even know what it was. I've never seen it. It was back definitely from the 1990s.
You sure it wasn't no shit while I fell asleep and that was on TV when you
No,
woke up?
I remember asking you what it was, and you told me what it was, but I have no idea, and the quality was horrible. It was horrible.
I don't know. You gotta let me know.
Yeah.
One other thing that I found out was random. According to reports, a declassified CIA file from the Cold War has gone viral for its account on a clash between the Soviet soldiers and a UFO. According to the file, a Soviet platoon fired at a flying saucer over Ukraine, after which the ship's occupants reportedly turned the soldiers to stone before blasting off. One American agent described the aftermath as a horrific picture of revenge by extraterrestrial beings. I thought you might like that shit.
That's crazy.
That's all you got.
That's crazy. Like, is it true? And they
you love big sci-fi. You and G sit down and watch all that shit. I hit you with some raw, real shit. That's quote unquote, and that's all I get. That's wild.
Because it's wild in the aspect they turned them to concrete.
That's what they say. Yeah. Somebody's seen it.
So is it a monument now? Like, can I go visit it? Is it like
how we know that some of the monuments we look at ain't people that was turned to stone?
I do definitely believe in aliens.
Conspiracy.
For sure. I do believe that there is UFOs. I do believe pilots have seen UFOs. I do believe all of that. Mm-hmm. So I definitely believe it. I guess the cement part is what got me. Like that's crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm glitching because I don't understand that. But I do believe it. There's definitely other life. We're not the only ones. I'm not going to be ignorant and think that.
Yeah, I definitely believe there's other things out there besides. I mean, there were dinosaurs before us. There's proof of that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely believe there's stuff out there that we don't know and we won't even understand.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all I got for random shit.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. You got anything you want to touch on? Mm-mm. You good? You done?
Yeah.
Use it all up on that one transgender
conversation? This was a big episode for me.
Mm-hmm. I took a lot out of you, didn't it?
I don't know.
Seemed like it drained you mentally. Because it was exhausting.
Because it's like it's controversial, of course, and
controversial to on
because
what level?
It's like it's so divided. It's that then on top of it, our main topic today. Mm-hmm. It's relatable. Like it was just a mentally exhausting episode for me. Okay. It was a lot. It brought up trauma.
All right, let's close this out then.
Yes.
We want to thank everyone for listening and tuning in. God bless, and we'll talk later.
See you next time.
This is Homesick Podcast.
Oh my God.